What's going on, guys? I wanted to bring you a little video today showing alcohol stoves. I really want to tout the use of one of these little do-it-yourself homemade alcohol stoves. We've got a video that's going to be available just to our members on actually how to go through the steps to create one of these, because it's just such an involved process. We just don't have time to do something like that with a little 10-minute YouTube video, and thought that'd be something cool to bring our members as well. But I'd like to kind of talk about the pros and cons of these different alcohol stoves I have here, which you may remember a little stove test shootout thing that I did with my buddy Jack from Survival Podcast. But I want to just kind of take a minute to familiarize you with these stoves. This is called a Trongia stove. There are many Church of the Trongia worshipers out there that called us out on not having one of these pot stands last time we did our test, so here you go. Here's a Trongia pot stand. One of the things that I like about the Trongia and don't like about the Trongia is just the fact that this pot stand is so huge. It's good. I like the Trongia. It burns well. Just to give you a brief comparison real quick, in terms of weight and cost and all that stuff. We could say that for an article, but let me just breeze over it real quick. Alcohol stove like this, as you know, cheap to make, inexpensive. All it takes is 2 cans, some time, and a little bit of effort. One of these Vargo titanium little alcohol stoves run you about between $30 somewhere around there. A little Trongia like this will run you about $30 to $35. Sometimes I've even seen them as low as $20. It just kind of depends where you get them. Trongia holds about 3 ounces of fuel, and the fuel that I like to use is denatured alcohol. And the reason it's got this bluish tint is just so I can visually distinguish it between other fuels. Not only other fuels, but water and things like that. So Trongia holds 3 ounces. The Vargo Triad XE, which is what this is, holds about an ounce, 1.75 ounces, and this little homemade alcohol stove holds 1 ounce of fuel. And that's approximately the amount of fuel in this bottle here. This is a 1 ounce bottle. This is a little 2 ounce Nalgene bottle, and then this is just a hand sanitizer bottle that I took the label off of and filled up with alcohol. But what I happen to like about this little bottle is that it's got a flip top on it. It makes filling it up easier. So anyway, boil time is obviously going to depend on temperature, and not only the temperature outside, but the temperature of your water. So it's just kind of hard to gauge that. Just a rough estimate, the Trongia on a cold start burns 2 cups of water in about 9 to 10 minutes. This little alcohol stove here, 10 to 11 minutes. And the Vargo Triad XE, about 8 to 9 minutes. So Vargo's kind of the better performer out of between all 3 of these. I'm sure I'm going to get Church of Trongia people arguing with me about that, saying that my times are all off. But hey, that's just what I found to be the times. So when you're talking about weight on these, you really have to not only consider the unit itself, but what is actually going to be required to use it. And I mean, on the Trongia, you have to have a windscreen. So I mean, literally, you know, you take the weight of all these, 1.6 ounces on the Vargo, 0.3 ounces on the small little alcohol stove, and even without this thing and without even this burner cap, the Trongia comes in at 3.1 ounces. Which, you know, ounces in the morning or pounds at night if you've ever gone on trips. So just that filler cap alone is 0.8 ounces. Obviously it holds more, so it's a better deal, but all this stuff together here weighs 5.6 ounces. So, like I said, you really have to take into consideration a windscreen. I mean, this little aluminum windscreen made 1.2 ounces, so you really have to add that into all these things too, and I'll try to get those exact measurements in the article. But at any rate, just wanted to tout the small little alcohol stove as a viable alternative. It's a great thing to make cheaply, carry with you. I've got a video that I'll try to produce that shows cooking a couple ramen noodles and just this little this Snow Peak mini solo cook set. This is what I like to carry. What I like about this is that I can fit. One other thing to note on this little alcohol stove, you have to have a pre-burner to get these lit. But I just use the lid from a tuna fish can, I think is what that is. But that can just be dropped in the bottom. You have your little windscreen here that fits in. I can fit plenty of fuel. I've got 3 bottles of fuel. Just right there is 5.5 ounces of fuel. So then the little stove can fit on the top. Got room for a spoon, lighter can be thrown in there, and I'll be put into this little mini solo cook set and taken with me wherever I'm going. So that's what I like about this little stove, is that it can be packed in. Of course, you know, you can always put the Vargo in there too, but just trying to present this from a cost analysis too, and these things are very cheap to make, easy to use. You'll get a lot of use out of them, and if something happens to it, you can just make another one. So anyhow, this has been a little small review on alcohol stoves and what I like to use. Be sure to let me know if you have any comments. Again, those all use denatured alcohol, which you can get in most hardware stores. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and appreciate your subscription.